Hey everybody, it's Dr. Mac here with our Module 4 kickoff. We're going to move out of the theoretical and now into the practical. How do you teach children's literature in the classroom? And in this unit, you will be focusing on workshop methods, reader's workshop and writer's workshop in particular. And throughout this class, you're going to end up workshopping both a writing piece and you're going to be working in small book clubs reading different books. And I decided to highlight these methodologies in this module because Reader's Workshop and Writer's Workshop is used extensively in school districts around the greater New Haven area. So in this module, we're going to be talking about our workshop methods. Specifically, I want us to focus on what does Readers and Writers Workshop look in the classroom. This is used all over the place, and I want you to think about it. What does it mean, that word workshop? When you workshop through a writing or you workshop through a book, what does that metaphor of the tool shed do for you in creating readers who have a toolkit of content knowledge and reading skills? And then how can you as a teacher model what it means to be a good reader and a writer? Students need to see you love and trust the books they read. They want to see you have favorite children's literature. And finally, how can you create this environment that is supportive of reading and writing in the classroom? Your tasks, you have 3 readings. The first one goes over kind of an overview of how the reading workshop is organized. The second reading focuses on literature circles, which is an adaptive kind of version of reciprocal teaching and reader's workshop kind of mixed together. And what we can do to get those across. So you want to look at that. And a lot of times, I mean, many of you probably have really bad memories of literature circles. This is usually what happens. You put 5 kids into a group, and they're each assigned a role. They're all fighting over who can be the illustrator because nobody wants to actually do anything. And you have 5 separate kids doing 5 separate worksheets, and we call it a literature circle, and it just isn't. So what can we do once we get past those primary grades of Reader's Workshop to really increase the kind of text-based analysis and text-based discussion that you have to have in the classroom? Because here's what happens. Workshop methods is a very explicit approach to teaching, but a lot of it grew out of early work in the 80s around a tool called Reciprocal Teaching. And Reciprocal Teaching was one of the very first reading theories to bring in Vygotsky's principles and Piaget's principles and kind of meld those together. And what happened is Palamscar and Brown, they went through and they decided what are the great thinking skills and reading skills that people use. And they kind of broke those down into predicting, questioning, clarifying, and summarizing, and thought, well, those are skills, the thinking skills that are reflected in reading. And they created a system where you teach those 4 skills. Over time, that's evolved. It's branched off, and you had this concept of literature circles, and that's where you have you have the questioner and the visualizer and the clarifier. So it kind of forked in a way into literature circles. Workshop methods are something slightly different, and we're going to talk about those. But I wanted you to really understand the lineage of instructional techniques when it comes to using children's literature. And then the last reading goes through how we use Writer's Workshop. And throughout the week, I will be releasing videos describing how to do Reader's Workshop, how to set up conferences in Reader's Workshop, and then I will do another talk on how to do notebooks in Writer's Workshops and how different ways of thinking about it. So your tasks for this unit are to complete the readings. You're going to pick 2 of them to annotate. I think you guys have been doing pretty strong in your annotations. You'll also then write a mini lesson for either Writer's Workshop or Reader's Workshop, and that lesson must contain an explicit definition of the skills being taught. You need to model the use of that skill and then guided practice. You can either record yourself teaching a mini lesson. You can submit you can submit your lesson plan as a written lesson plan. Though I think I find more value as practicing as a teacher, recording yourself doing the actual lesson. So if you go back and you remember back to the slide deck you created for your literary elements, you would be doing kind of the same thing, but you could actually teach it if you wanted to. Then for your participation task, I created a playlist of examples of Reader's Workshop and Writer's Workshop in the classroom, and I want you to just watch the movies and then actually talk about them in this module on our channel, and I'll make a workshops channel. You don't need to blog about it and give me the pros and cons, but I want you to engage your peers and start up conversations with each other on how Readers and Writers Workshop functions. And those are the tasks, and so I'm going to go ahead and just go over a quick overview of Reader's Workshop and let you get started.